Goal setting is one of those shiny, like gold, fancy things that everybody does. We gotta set our goals, we gotta know where we're going, we gotta dream big, go after big things. But nobody talks about how you actually keep track of how to get to your goals and the progress you're making towards your goals. So today, I'm going to talk about how to actually track your goals, how to actually know whether you're getting closer to your goals, and how to backtrack your planning so that you understand what you need to do to hit those goals. All right, so two things first. I was going to say first things first, but there's two things. Number one, there is a bird right outside my office window, so you very well may hear him throughout this entire video. I don't know what to do other than to go throw a rock at him, so there you go. Second thing, my children are home, and I keep hearing them run across the floor upstairs right above my head like little squirrels. So if you hear noises during this video, just know that everything's okay, and we're gonna get through this together. With those things out of the way, hello, hi, hello, howdy, what's up? My name is Jessica Stansberry, and I am so very glad you're here. If this is your first time, welcome. I am so freaking glad you're here. And if you are wanting to get better at setting goals, to get better at reaching goals, to get better at tracking goals, this is the video for you. So make sure you hit subscribe so you don't miss any other content that could also be for you here on this channel. So like I said a minute ago, dream chasing, goal planning, it's all the rage. It really is. It's all the rage. Everybody wants you to set big goals, to reach them, to plan for things, all the things. But nobody actually tells you how to make sure you hit those goals, how to make sure you plan to hit those goals, and how to make sure that it all happens in a way where you know you're moving in the right direction. Oh, I forgot my wedding rings. Hold on. I know I'll get questions from somebody if I don't wear some type of wedding band on my hand. So there we go. So here is what I want you to do. First and foremost, you have to know what your goals are, what your dreams are, and what you're reaching for. But then you need to find a system that works for you to be able to, one, track your goal, but two, help you break down the steps it's going to take to get there. I have an entire podcast episode that talks about how to kind of reverse engineer your goals, and I will definitely link that below. But in short, you need to know what your goals are, right? Then you need to put them somewhere where you can always get back to them. And then you need to reverse engineer them so you know what you need to be doing this month, this year, this week, this day, this hour to get you towards that goal. So before we talk about like tracking and stepping and figuring out all the things that are going to go into you reaching your goal, let's talk about this different systems you can use to manage your goals. Y'all know I love my iPad, my digital planner, digital things, all of that. And that is a great way to track your goals, to figure out like what you're working towards and to have a good place to come back to it. So if you love, physically writing, if you love like digital planning or, planning out your days like this or whatever, you might want to keep track of it in your digital planner. For me, that would look like writing down my goals in a notebook or maybe in a goals worksheet, whatever you've got available to you, and then tracking it from there. So that's one option. Coupled with the digital planner idea or the digital notebook idea would obviously be a physical planner or physical notebook. So if you know that you really enjoy writing things down and that is going to help you get to your goals quicker, then that is what you should do. You can also journal your goals if you have like a bullet journal or something like that where you know, this is the page for my goals. This is the page where I'm going to talk about how to get there. Then do it that way. Another option is to use a project management system that you're already using like Asana, Trello, or ClickUp. Y'all know I love me some ClickUp. And so for me, I put all of my goals and all of the plans to hit them first in my digital planner. I kind of rough draft everything in there like, okay, well, I know I want to get here. Let me just like doodle all over the page. I'll do it on my digital planner or in a digital notebook first. Then I will take it into ClickUp to actually kind of schedule it out and make it measurable. So inside of ClickUp, then I have steps that are gonna get me there. I reverse engineer everything. And I'll show you more about that in just a second. The important thing here is that however you track your goals, it needs to be easy for you. It doesn't matter what's easy for me. It doesn't matter what's easy for your best friend. It doesn't matter what's easy for this person over here. You have got to be able to want to do the system that you create to backtrack, to plan, and to track your goals. So if you don't love it, it's not worth it. All right, here's the real gold in this video. Nobody tells you what to do once you know what your goal is and how you're supposed to get there. Nobody tells you that. It's almost like they're like, set big dreams, set big goals, whatever, but they're like, put them out there and just hope that they happen. And guys, hope is not a strategy. Okay? Hope is not a strategy. You have got to actually take steps to make things happen. If your big goal is to write a book, then if you just hope that it happens, how is that gonna happen? You actually have to write a book, right? If your big goal is to make $100,000 or your big goal is to get 100,000 subscribers on YouTube or your big goal is to launch a product, just putting it out there is not gonna get you anywhere. You have to reverse engineer the success and the achievement of hitting that goal. So, like I said, what I do first is I take my iPad and I just go into a digital notebook in my iPad. And the reason I do it in my iPad is because I tend to forget what notebooks I put things in. It's just honest truth. I don't remember. Half the time I'm like, what notebook did I have in the bathtub that night when I was planning all this out? And God can only know because I have 10,000 notebooks. So I tend to plan my goals out in a digital notebook in my iPad with GoodNotes. So what I will do is I will open up a digital notebook to like a blank page. I don't know if you guys can see that here, but I'll do an overhead shot too. So I will open up my notebook to a blank page and I will start with the goal. I will start with the goal and I will say, here is the goal. And generally, for me, I like to work for goals that are within the next year that can be done because they're easier to break down. If you're working towards a 5-year goal, it's gonna take you a lot longer to break that down into what you need to be doing today to hit that goal in 5 years. So I will start with a goal that is achievable in the next year. Now, that could mean that it's a big piece of a puzzle that's going to happen for my 5-year goal, right? So maybe in 5 years, I want my business to make $1 million. And so that means that I need to increase my income by a certain percentage each year to get me to that $1 million year 5 years from now, right? So then I could say, okay, well then this year I need to make $300,000 or $400,000 or whatever that looks like. How am I going to do that? So I will take out my notebook and I will plan out that goal. I will say, okay, here's the goal. Now let's reverse engineer that. And the reason I like to look at it per year is because it's really easy to say, okay, so let's break that down into 4 parts because there are 4 quarters in a year. Even if you're starting mid-year and going to mid-year next year, there's still 4 quarters in a year. So then you can say, okay, well, there's 4 quarters in this year. Let me do, these things for the first 4 quarters or for the first quarter, for the second quarter, for the third quarter. Then let me break that down into month. Let me break that down into week. And that way I know what I'm working on each week. So I start in my digital planner, I start with a digital notebook and say, here's the goal, here's kind of the plan we're gonna execute and do. And then I move it over to ClickUp. And then I pull out my ClickUp calendar and transfer everything I just wrote down in my iPad over to ClickUp with dates and reminders. So if I want to write a book I'm filming this in July. If I want to write a book by December, then, first of all, I need to figure out how many words I need to write or how many pages I need to write to make sure it's a full book. Then I need to figure out, do I want to do like traditional publishing? Do I want to do self-publishing? Like, what do I want to do? And then I need to figure out all of these things, right? So I need to break down all of the steps it's going to take me to get to that book and then reverse engineer it from today. So okay, well, if I need to know all of these things, if I need to figure all of these things out, then today I need to do some research and see whether or not I want to traditionally publish or self-publish my book. Then I need to tomorrow figure out exactly how many words go into a book the size I'm wanting to write. Then I need to say, okay, I need to figure out the topic and the contents of the book. So maybe I spend 3 or 4 days working on that. And then if I know I need to write 30,000 words, then I can break that down per week and say, okay, there are 15 weeks between here and my deadline. How many words do I need to write each week? And maybe I need to write 2,000 words each week to get to my 30,000 word goal and to get my book done by the time I want it done. So that's what I then put in ClickUp. It's like, okay, well, here's the final goal. Let's reverse engineer that. I need to write 2,000 words each week. I need to do this thing on this day, whatever. So all of that goes in ClickUp in the calendar. So I know when I look at my calendar, what I need to be doing each week and each day to get me towards that goal. And that also means that I can be working on multiple goals at once. So if I want to write a book, but I also want to make $400,000 this year, and I reverse engineer how I'm going to make $400,000 this year, then I put that in ClickUp as well. And maybe, this month, the way I'm hitting my revenue goal to be, what it needs to be this month, to be what it needs to be this quarter, to be what it needs to be this year, right? Then I put that in ClickUp. So, okay, if I need to make $15,000 this month to get me to my goal, or I need to make $40,000 this month, then exactly how am I doing that? Maybe I'm hosting a webinar or launching a course. So I need to reverse engineer that. So really, the goals start in my head, get put into somewhere I can write them down and scribble and be messy and let myself say, okay, well, if I want to do this, then what are the steps to that? And then I take them and organize them and put dates on them in ClickUp. So regardless of how you're going to track your goals, regardless of how you're going to map it out, reverse engineer it, whatever, you need a system in place to help you do that. You need a system laid out that helps you put your goal in and reverse engineer it back to today or next week or next month or whatever. And so that could look like a notebook fully dedicated to your goals. And that could look like using your Google Calendar to track it. It really doesn't matter. It needs to work for you. And what works for me is brain dumping and then taking the brain dump and making sense out of it in ClickUp with due dates and tasks that are assigned to me. So I never have to wonder what I need to be doing this week to hit that goal. Now, everybody's goals are different, and you can use this same strategy and process for personal goals as well as business goals or weight loss goals or whatever you want to do. If you want to lose 100 pounds, then, maybe you figure out you can successfully and healthfully, I don't think that's a word. You can successfully lose 2 healthy pounds a week. I think that might sound better. So you can successfully lose 2 healthy pounds a week and you want to lose 100 pounds. So, okay, it's going to take me 50 weeks to lose 100 pounds. If I am full on motivated and do everything I'm supposed to do and I lose 2 pounds a week, I can get there in 50 weeks. So what is the plan to get there? All right, so that means that I am going to be tracking my calories. I'm going to be meal planning. I'm going to be working out every day. I'm going to be whatever you're going to do, right? So then you can reverse engineer that and know that every Sunday you need to meal prep. So you have things for the week. And so that you get it done and get the things done that need to happen to lose the 2 pounds that week. And then the next week and the next week and the next week. So this doesn't have to be just business goals. You can track any kind of goal in this same process. So when I realized what worked best for me and when I realized how I best hit my goals, I wanted to create a worksheet to plan goals for myself, and then I decided to bundle it up and sell it inside of my digital planning starter pack. So if you're into digital planning, or if you just want the worksheet, because you don't have to have an iPad or anything to use it, you can absolutely just download it and use it on your computer. You can print it. The same thing with digital planners. You can print them out and use them as a paper planner. That's totally fine. But if you're into wanting to figure out how to better plan your goals, if you really want worksheets to help you and trainings to help you and material to help you, I would highly suggest checking out my digital planning starter pack. And you can check that out by going to digitalplanningstarterpack.com. And I have that linked below as well. But essentially it's just a full pack of digital planners, stickers, worksheets, whatever, for you to get started with digital planning. But also inside of that, as a bonus, I have some goal planning worksheets. It's super cheap. So even if you just buy it for the goal planning worksheets, I think it's worth it. And the trainings that go along with that, I think it's completely worth it. So if you want to know more about this, if you really want to incorporate this into your goal planning and into, achieving your dreams and achieving your goals, definitely check out the digital planning starter pack. Now, I want to know if you have questions. Do you have other questions on how to hit your goals? Do you have other questions on how to reverse engineer your goals? Do you have other questions on what your goals should be, or how high is too high, or how low is too low to aim? I would love to hear them in the comments below so that we can have a bigger and better discussion about goals, because it's so important to have dreams and have things you're reaching for, and also so important to know what you need to do to get there. So until next time, go check out the digital planning starter pack. Go leave a comment if you have a question, and do the dang thing when it comes to setting and achieving your goals, because you were made to do more than just sit here and live every day the same and not go after something bigger. Bye, y'all.